Hello, hello, hello.
Well, howdy, y'all. Hope everybody's having themselves a rip roaring good time. Because
About you.
we ain't gonna land again today, Linda. We can't land because now we got fires everywhere.
Right.
Fire here, fire there. We need to fire the governor of California
Yep.
and the mayor. I don't know. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You just
Mm-mm.
make this
Mm-mm.
any way you look at it. You can't make it up because
Nope.
just a
Nope.
crazy, crazy situation going on in California right now.
Well, it's more than just the Pacific Palisades that's on fire. They've got like 3 or 4 or 5 different fires going.
Well, and they said that they found themselves some people that are arsons and they're lighting stuff on fire, and they're trying to blame the homeless and they're trying to blame all these other people, but the people they really need to blame.
Well, did you hear about Meghan and Harry?
No.
Oh, well, they did a walkthrough of an area that's completely and totally gone, and people are criticizing them because they're disaster tourists is what they're saying, because people that even live there can't get back there yet. Well, I mean, don't they have foundations and stuff to help people?
Well, I'm sure the rich have all kind of foundations, don't you think?
Well, but I'm saying though, I they have the Archie fund or something.
Oh, you're talking about the royal family. Probably have all kind of foundations. I'm sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And everybody's blasting them for being allowed to go down there when people that live there can't go down there. But maybe they're assessing to help. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I just want to tell you that those people, you know, it's devastating, and I feel so sorry for
Yeah.
them. I really do. My heart goes out to those innocent people that all that stuff happened to. But I'm going to tell you another thing. If somebody warns you that something's going to happen and you don't do anything about it,
Right.
um, you
Right.
know, what's why wouldn't you want to pick a better person to run your state or I'm just saying. I just think that
Well, you would think. I mean, that
I'm just
there's
saying.
like 4 busts that's come out of that state. The governor,
Well,
the ex vice president, the ex congresswoman, the ex congressman. I mean, how many more losers do you need to come out of there before people realize that that state's messed up?
my thing is, when does a fish run a country or a state? This smelt minnow has basically run California.
Which I mean, I don't even think it's that big in California. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anywhere but maybe the Midwest where I know that smelt is big.
Well, they said that's the only thing that a dad burned salmon would eat. But I'm going to ask you a question here. If you were an animal of any kind, which I guess you consider humans being an animal of some sort, wouldn't you? I'm sure that, yeah, I prefer a steak, a T-bone steak, and a baked potato. But if there were no T-bone steaks, I'm sure I'd have to find something else to eat. And I'm sure the salmon would too. But you know what I found fascinating, Linda? I want to show you something that you can't make this stuff up. I'm going to show you something that's extremely fascinating to me. Now, they want to say that they have to move all the water and defer all the water that's coming down from the mountains from the snow and everything and make it go off into the bay because they got to save the smelt minnow, right? Well, I want you to look here. Over here are the fish hatcheries right here in California that are raising smelt minnows.
Right.
How many do you need? And why do you have to defer the water to another place if you've got this many hatcheries?
See, I always thought that smelt was freshwater fish.
Well, God only knows that maybe that's just their excuse. You know, I'm not too familiar with the smelt minnow. I just heard about it when they diverted all the water away.
I mean, I'm pretty sure smelt.
Smelt?
I'm pretty sure that smelt and salmon are freshwater fish. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Put a comment in down below. But I know here in Michigan, my brother goes up north fishing, and we don't have an ocean by us. So I'm pretty sure they're freshwater.
I'm looking here. Hang on just a second. Well, they ain't no good looking little fish, are they?
Oh no, they're ugly as sin.
I'm just looking at them right now. Smelt are one of the best choices of freshwater and salt water fish to eat. So they're either or.
Who would have known? Because I know my other brother, the one that passed away, he used to only fish for smelt. And I think that's because you could just throw a net out and get a whole crap load at one time.
Well,
he wasn't a big fisherman.
Some crappies out there. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm just thinking to myself that I don't think a fish should run a state and make you defer all the water to go off into the bay that you need in case there was a fire. What if there was a fire? Why doesn't our fire hydrants work? Now, that doesn't have anything to do with the smelt minnow, I don't think.
No, but somebody said a while back to get the fire hydrants working, and they didn't heed his warning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what you gonna do?
Well, you're going to reelect a new one is what you're going to do. And you're going to get rid of some of those people because, you can't run a state on the wing and a prayer and the seat of your pants. And that's what they're doing.
Right. And you can't fix stupid either.
Well, you can fix ugly, but you can't fix stupid. That's right. That's right. You can't fix stupid, but you can fix ugly. And you know what? And
wait a minute. That's got to be physically ugly, not internally ugly.
Right.
You can't fix internally ugly either.
Okay, well, this is true too. That's why Gavin Newsom needs to quit buying so much hair gel.
Hi, Gloria Jean.
Hey, Gloria Jean. He needs to quit buying so much hair gel and think more about the people that he is governor of. He's governoring. You like that? I like that. They're governoring. He doesn't even know how to tie his down. He needs to hang out with Biden because both of them have about as much brains as a box of rocks.
Right. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's tonight or maybe tomorrow night that Biden is giving his farewell address to the nation.
Well, isn't that fancy that he's going to do that? Maybe Gruesome Newsom will be over there to listen to his speech while the Santa Nana winds go through there and whip the hell out of the rest of his state. And then maybe his mayor will be back in Guyana. I mean, what?
Right. That's
I'm
crazy.
going to tell you, I don't know too many states along the hurricane areas where they're not ready when a hurricane's coming. They're ready.
They've got that stuff down like, oh, I can't even describe how they've got that down. So, it is like just so perfect. Everybody knows the evacuation route to take. Everybody knows, the supplies you should have. Everybody is supposed to have an emergency kit that they keep in their car or just a pick up and go out of the garage or whatever.
Right.
Everybody knows what to do in Florida.
Well, and Texas and all along your Gulf Coast. But you know what? They don't know how to fight fires, and fires have been in California since beginning of time. This one, they just had one in November. That should have been a pre-warning. Get yourself ready. But no, Gavin was getting a spa treatment at the time. That's what I'm saying. You can fix ugly, but you can't fix stupid.
Right. Well, I mean, there's no reason for the fire hydrants not to be working.
No.
There's no reason at all.
No, but I got a better one for you. Okay. So, we all have had a very bad, there's a bunch of states that have had it bad this last year. We had it bad in Florida. They kept getting nailed one right after another of hurricanes. And you heard about them while it was happening, and then boom, it was gone, right? And a lot of people in Florida lost their homes. People in North Carolina lost their homes due to Hurricane Helene. And they covered for a little while. Oh, sorry. South Carolina. And that was devastating. And it continues to be devastating. And our government didn't go up there to help them.
Right. And you never even heard of the damage done in Georgia.
No. But all we're hearing about is every channel, everywhere you look, about California and the celebrities that have lost their home. Well, you know what? I'm sorry you lost your home. Truly, I am. But you know what? The ones that are getting on there and saying, and it kind of irritated me just a little bit, because some of them got on there and said, we've got these places for you to donate your stuff, because people need clothes and shoes and whatever. And then they said, but we want them lightly used. In other words, we don't want your clothes that you've had for a year that you've wore, and we don't want any with stains on them, which I understand. But so I'm going to leave that, guess well said. But
I guess that would put a whole new term to beggars can't be choosers.
Exactly.
Because I know when we had the house fire, I was going to Salvation Army and other little resale shops to try and get clothes.
Yeah. Well, they had, and I can't remember her name. I should have written it down, but she was going through her bedroom, which was the size of my whole house. And she was saying, here, I'm going to donate all my clothes. Well, I don't think she's going to donate them all, but she's going to donate a big portion of them. And she had like 950 pairs of shoes. It was one whole closet, took the whole wall, and it was all in boxes, and all of these shoes stacked too deep, and she's going to take them. And you can bet 949 pairs of them are stilettos, and she's gonna give up all of her clothes that had like sequins on them, and evening gowns she wore, and the red carpet and all this kind of stuff. And I thought, you really think this is what these people want? So I'm gonna be watching. If I see somebody homeless walk along with a pair of 4-inch high stiletto heels and a red carpet dress, I'm gonna say, well, I know that belonged to Kim Kardashian at one time. Where'd you get that? Did you have to pay for it?
Don't forget the evening bag.
All right. And did you have to pay for it? That's what I want to know, because they're all getting their kudos for giving them up. And here I'm donating all this stuff because I'm such a good person, so I can have a tax write-off. Come on, don't y'all figure that out? I've got that figured out. That's a big old tax write-off for them.
Right.
And I don't want any of that. And most of those guys are like a size 0. What about the people that are like my size? The
Right.
fluffy size. They don't have any clothes, and I don't want their nightgown or evening gowns anywhere, and their poor high heel shoes. I want a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt so I can get involved in cleaning up the mess.
Well, I'd be in real trouble because I need extra fluffy clothes.
Well, I mean, you can't clean up the debris in your home if you're in an evening gown with sequins. I mean, most of us don't even have clothes like that.
Yeah, but I mean, they do have regular clothes too, because I've seen some of them caught on camera that they didn't know they would be caught on camera, and it's like they look like they're homeless.
Well, those are the clothes they're keeping for themselves right now. You're getting the fancy clothes. They don't want to give up those clothes they need for every day. You can't make this stuff up. I thought she was showing this shirt and she was folding it up all prim and proper like, and I looked over and thought, that thing that's all sequins. Do you think for 1 second I'm gonna go over there and clean the debris off my home in that shirt?
But I would.
I wouldn't. Heck no. I never go because I get to wear that kind of stuff.
I like my.
You have to pay for it, and if it's by Prada,
right?
Come on, here. You can have a pair of my Louis Vuitton shoes to go out there and stomp around in that swamp that the firefighters just put water all over.
Right.
Y'all, we can't make this stuff up. And this is what they think, and this is what they think is proper.
Well, I guess it's better than not giving anything at all. Let's look at the positive side for a minute.
Well,
let's look at the positive side.
Okay, I'm going to be positive right now. I positively know that I don't want a pair of Prada shoes to walk around in the swamp in. This is ridiculous. And you know what was really funny? I got to show this to you too. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You can't make it up. California has a law. All right. Now, any normal person or people know that you can't do this, but here we go. So, California law states, this is California Penal Code that says a person shall not willingly or neglectfully cut, destroy, or manipulate or remove plant material that is grown upon public land. Okay, so you can't do it in the public. Well, I think your house is considered public. And so if you keep on reading down here, they were not allowed to cut back anything from their homes because it was vegetated life. And they're not allowed. Look at a person engaging in necessary cutting or trimming or plant materials for purpose of protecting and maintaining electric power lines. If you're going to protect the power lines, you can, but you can't cut it away from your house or get rid of it. And if you want to, if you kept on reading here, if you want to, do you know what you got to do? You got to get a permit. You got to have a permit that says it's okay for you to take the dead stuff to keep your house from being a tinderbox away from your house.
We have to have a permit to cut down trees.
Well, we have to have a permit to cut down trees in our area too, because you know what? They it's a sacred oak, and I don't know if they're dancing around it at night or what they're doing, but you know, but it has to be so big around and so tall and whatever,
Oh,
right?
really?
Yeah, and then you can cut it down, but yeah, it has to be a sapling because you got a great big one that's tearing up your driveway. But they can't.
Really?
But they no, and they can't take, like, you know, if the tree, how the limbs come out, the old dead limbs and leaves go against their house and fall on the ground. They've got to have a permit to rake them up.
Oh, that sounds crazy.
California was a firebox waiting to happen.
Well, I can tell you this much. When I did a Hollywood tour when I was there, we were in front of Simon Cowell's house.
That he don't have no more.
This was in Beverly Hills, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, his is gone. He's one of the 50.
Well,
Thought
he
I
had
heard.
a marble driveway.
He had a horse. Was it all overgrown with grass and
No,
leaves and stuff? No.
no.
What
He
did
had
he
a marble driveway, but there was
Oh, he had a marble drive.
a marble driveway, and there was somebody out there mopping the driveway.
You know, you got to be kidding me right now.
I can't make this up.
I know you
Are you
can't.
kidding me?
You can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up.
If I come across the picture, I'll send it to you. I took a picture.
Well, there's 50 people that have lost their homes, and the celebrities that have lost their homes: Mel Gibson and Paris Hilton and Miley Cyrus, and I don't know, on, and it goes on and on for
All
days.
right.
And you know, it didn't hurt my feelings. Miley Cyrus's house burned down. I'm sorry, God, forgive me, for I have sinned. I have asked. I don't care. Sorry.
You know how much help we got when our house burnt down?
Probably not. See, this is what I'm saying. You know, that's all I hear is how the celebrities have lost their homes.
Well, and you know the Red Cross is supposed to be right there. Do you think the fire department contacted the Red Cross and said it was a total loss?
Well, okay, how about this one? They picked up a guy that was an illegal that had a flamethrower,
Mm-hmm.
and they took him down because he was setting a garbage can on fire down there, and the citizens arrested him.
Well, here's a good
They
one
let
too.
him loose an hour later.
Here's a good one too.
Come on.
Earl was telling me when he got home from work that on the radio he heard, I don't know if it was going to work or from work. But a guy got on, hi Donna. A guy got on the radio and said he is miles and miles and miles away from the fires. And the palm tree in front of his house was on fire. Now, there is no way an Amber is going to go miles and miles and miles and not be put out. How it just
It just doesn't happen. I'm telling you. You know who they're blaming it on, y'all? Dig this one. They're blaming it on the homeless. You know what? Those homeless people are always down there setting the garbage cans on fire and cooking their food and everything.
I would
We've
believe
been doing that
illegals.
for years, and it didn't burn down California.
I would believe illegals before I believe homeless. But you
I
know,
believe that Gavin Newsom put a little bit of money in a few people's pockets and said, "Hey, let's get this going," because
I think you have the blue light laser effect like you had in Hawaii.
well, you know, I was going to say, I think everybody needs to climb up on their roofs right now. We'll do it tomorrow, and we'll all get up on our roofs and paint them blue, because you know, if it had a blue roof, it didn't get burnt down again, just like it was in Maui. Kind of fishy there, and I'm not talking smelt minnow.
right.
You know, come on.
Yep.
And Donna, dear friend of mine, I wanted to show you, but I didn't have a chance because you weren't here yet, and I already closed off the thing. But LA has 4 smelt minnow hatcheries. So you explain to me why you have to defer the water to for the smelt minnows for the water to go into the bay so that they can save the smelt minnow that they're already got a hatchery for. I mean,
Right.
come on, y'all. There's 4
Right.
of them. I looked them up where they were at and everything. And I thought, you know what, y'all, you sit over here and you blow smoke up our butt, or as my daddy would say, don't pee down my back and tell me it's raining. All right, because I don't believe one thing that they do. Donna, I'll show you. They do. I had it for a minute, but I don't. Let me see. I'll show it to you. There
I
we go.
just hope all these lies stop.
Here we go. I'm going to show it to you, Donna, just because I want you to see that, yes, ma'am, they have them and they don't want you to know about it. Here you go. Here's your 4. You got one in Vernon, California. You got one in Slimar, California. You got one in Fillmore, California. And the list goes on. And they're all raising. And the only reason I looked it up was because someone had said that, yes, they have smelt minnow hatcheries. And I'm like, well, then why are we deferring the water into the bay if we got smelt minnow
Right.
hatcheries? You just don't. But you do if
Right.
you got an agenda. If you got an agenda. Now, I don't know how many of you have read the book 1984. But I'm going to tell you something that I just found out today, and I would have loved to have shared it with you, Linda, but I just found out just right before we got on. Do you know that LA is right now, the project is to make LA the first smart city in the United States?
Mm-hmm.
That's their project, is for LA to be the first AI city, smart city in
Right.
America. Now, if you start thinking, I know they're not too smart there, but and so if you start thinking about it, smart city, let's get a whole bunch of apartments built. Everybody will live in the same building. You'll eat, you'll work, and you'll work out, and you'll do everything in this one building. Everybody's going to be one happy little people. And oh, and by the way, we're going to monitor what you're doing. If you don't like it, then we're going to kick you out and you'll be in the streets with all the homeless people. And this is America saying it's okay? Or are we just not looking at what's in the headlight, what's in the rear view mirror coming up on us?
That's what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people aren't looking behind and ahead or anything else. They're all too focused on this damn inauguration with their anger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they've been awful quiet, haven't they?
Yes.
You know, Kamala Harris lost her home too. She was one of them. I thought, well, you lost the election, and now you lost your home. Isn't that enough for you to be slapped in the face to know you better change your ways? Because I don't think God makes mistakes like that. You know,
Yeah.
I do. I feel sorry. I really feel sorry for the innocent people that have
Right.
lost their homes in California. But, and one of the celebrities made a comment and it made me fire mad because I thought, okay, so you have 3 houses and 2 of those houses you've rented out and the one you live in. And he said, yeah, and my renters have lost everything. What are you doing to help them?
Oh, nothing, because they should have had renter's insurance.
Nothing, because the comment was made, I feel sorry for them. They lost everything. I lost my house, but they lost everything.
You know what? Speaking from experience, I can say this, okay? It's a horrible thing to lose everything by fire. It's a
Agreed.
terrible thing because I lost everything, and my son and my daughter-in-law lost everything, and they lost their 2 pets in the fire.
That's
Okay.
awful.
It's hard to bounce back from that. It is very hard to bounce back from that. But with that being said, again, people that have money and you live in an area prone to fires, you should have an evacuation kit available to you.
Well, you should have some smart people running your government.
And also, it's just not a lot of these people. I don't want to sound cold hearted here, but a lot of these people have 2 and 3 houses. So they do have their things spread around. So did they lose everything? Everything? The ones that have multiple homes? No, they did not.
They have
The
another
innocent people that just live in that area, they probably did lose everything.
Well, okay, now that you brought that
but
up,
I guess maybe it's hardened me a little bit being in that house fire because we got zero help. We got zero help. Red Cross never contacted us. Nothing. It wasn't on the news. Nothing. No GoFundMe. No nothing. I have a hard time feeling sorry for rich people. I really, really do. Because until you know what it's like to have your life gutted from you and to have to start all over at 48 years old, I think I was at the time. It's not an easy feat. It's not easy at all, especially when you sit there and it's like, I had cash. I had my cash in the house that was gone. I had no cash. I had no cash to buy anything. I had no toothbrush. I had no hairbrush. I had the clothes that were on my back. That's what I had. And then to add insult to injury, and I'm sorry, but these assholes out there looting.
I know, that's horrible.
That's happened to us. They were out there looting.
They were looting.
They looted. They stole $30,000 worth of jewelry. I had $30,000 worth of jewelry that got stolen. How do I know it was stolen? Because I found the empty jewelry box that had not a burn or a scorch mark on it. And I found the empty, I used to put all my rings on those little round things that they have in the jewelry boxes. I had 2 of them. I found both of them. They were both empty. Not a scorch mark on them. I had just gone shopping and I had 2 big, huge bags of clothes. Now, I'm going to tell you again, when the house was on fire, they came in with a backhoe and they scooped the top floor off. I was on the top floor. So my stuff didn't burn. Some of it did. Most of it got looted, which is even worse. Yeah. I have to put in my head that I lost it in the fire because I just can't deal with the fact that people could be so cold-hearted as to go and try and loot. That, to me, is the most despicable thing you could do to somebody.
Well, how about this one? They got that law in California that you have to have over $900.
Well, and that's
to be prosecuted. So are they going to, those people that got looted, are they going to give it their property as not new? So they're going to give them a lower value on it. I mean, this is all stuff that you sit and think about and you think, you're going to let these people go because my 71-inch TV wasn't $900.
Right.
Or
and then you're going to go through there and knowing that they lost 2 pets.
Pets. What you don't put a price on that kind of stuff.
No, there is no price on it.
No price on it.
No.
No.
None at all. None at all.
Well,
And
did you see where those looters went in and stole 3 Humvees off of the military base and was driving them around? They caught 2 of them, but one of them's still at large. Why would you steal a Humvee? I mean, you might as well steal yourself a neon light with somebody's name on it.
why would you steal at all? At all. I've
No,
never, ever in my life ever saw somebody's house burned down or there was a tragic fire somewhere and I went zooming off thinking, oh, I'm going to go loot. I'm going to go see what those people had. No, those people should be able to come back and go through and salvage what they can. I mean, I did salvage a few things.
No, you're absolutely right.
Thank God the pictures they had of the dogs from when they were puppies were in a photo album in a drawer.
Those, right?
Huh?
And they didn't want those, right?
They were in a drawer in the TV table, or not TV. Yeah, the
nightstand,
the long TV table,
the entertainment
front room. And I got those out. The drawer was frozen shut. That's probably why, because this happened on the coldest night of the year. And so it was frozen shut. And my younger son went, my older son left with his now wife. He left with his girlfriend to go because she was out of town. She was in South Carolina working when all this happened. Yeah. So, we were left to pick up the pieces, and I went out there the next day, and it just so happened my aunt lived down the street from us, and she went out there and she's like, there's people all over here looting everywhere. And I called the police and I'm like, you're supposed to have that roped off and you're supposed to, but you don't tell us what we're supposed to do. That was my answer.
You know what? People are sick and I hope their hands fall off for doing stuff like that. But I believe in karma, and I truly believe that, you know what, you steal one thing that's worth $100, you know what, something's going to be taken from you, or something's going to come up and it's going to cost you $1,000. Just as you did that.
Yes. Thank you, Donna.
It
was a really long time ago, but it's still a major thing that happens in your life. So I'm slowly getting over it because, a year and a half ago, the people that live next door to us now started the house on fire and our house almost went up. Had my son not had the brains to go outside and start squirting down our house and the fire, our house would have been on fire. And again, I would have lost everything again at 60 years old.
No.
And at that point, I would have just given up. I'm telling you right now, you can't start over at 60. You can't.
Not unless you're an elite in Hollywood.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not financially sound.
No.
To start over at this point in time being on disability.
Well, and here's the thing. It's really kind of fascinating to me that we have sat here and talked about Palisades, right? Isn't that just about everything you've heard? Palisades. Yeah. But there was a lot of houses in Easton that got burnt down. And those are the normal people.
Right.
Okay, y'all, these are the normal people.
There was a couple other areas that had fires too here's one thing I can tell you for sure, is that I know they said that Thousand Oaks was in jeopardy. Well, my uncle,
KMM, it's okay. I'm glad you're here.
Hi, KMM. My uncle used to live in Thousand Oaks when it used to be just a regular neighborhood. And then all the movie stars started moving in. That was long after he moved out. But then all the movie stars started moving in to Thousand Oaks too.
See? when they get on there and they play their story, and just because you're a celebrity, you want me to feel sorry for you. Well, y'all, they live better than we do. They don't
Like I
worry
said,
where their next electric bill's going to come from, or where
right,
they're going to get anything. They
right.
got it all taken care of. And I hate to sound like that, but I do. My heart bleeds for those people in Easton that aren't being. They're not talking about them. They said that fire's under control. Don't worry about it. No, what do you mean? Don't worry about it. These are people that are over there right now doing taking the donations, and you
Well,
know what? They better not be charging for that
did
stuff
you
that they
hear?
donated.
Did you hear right before we came on tonight?
Hmm.
The FBI is questioning Ben Affleck. He was on his way to Jennifer Gardner's house, and a drone that they said came from his house struck a watercraft to put the fires out, and they had to land the plane, and they have to fix it because it was in the wing that it hit.
Oh, and they think he did it.
They're questioning him. Who had the drone? I don't know. Like I said, it was just a short little blip that popped up on, I think it might have been World News. I don't know what channel I had the TV on while I was getting ready.
Donna said that almost happened to me when our neighbor house went up 12 fire engines. House went up 12 fire engines started by idiots flipping cigarettes in the patio furniture next door to them. Fire is scary. It has a sound spirit. Yeah, and you know what? And it does it. And fire has a mind of its own.
Well, I mean, Donna, to be honest, what happened was the people next door got evicted. So they came back in the middle of the night because this was at 3:30 in the morning. We were woke up to the house on fire. Now, needless to say, PTSD and I are good friends now. Um, so
Did
I
they get arrested?
can't find them.
Oh, sure. Sure, you can't find them. They can't find anything. And I'm going to tell you what, I can tell you right now, with some of the things that I know,
Well, the police,
these people did this because they were told to do this. And they
yeah,
were told to do this. And I'm
yeah,
going to tell you, it's going to come down that you're going to find that Gruesome Newsom's hands are pretty damn dirty.
yeah,
Can't make this up. I'm sorry. You
no,
can't.
no, no. And the police were hoping because my son has cameras on the house. And when he went to pull up the footage, the hard drive had burned up and he didn't
Oh,
know
sure.
the
See,
hard drive. So, needless to say, he got all new cameras.
See,
So,
now I don't know anything about fires, but I can tell you I know about hurricanes. And
it is very scary.
well, I was
Very
very
scary.
blessed with Harvey, and we went through the eye. We got the direct hit, and I was very fortunate. And I fell on my knees. You know what? I fell on my knees and thanked the good Lord that my house was still here,
Right.
because a lot around me didn't have. You
Right.
know, um, it was devastating. It was devastating. And the worst feeling in the world is when they tell you to evacuate and you leave and you're watching the news all night long. You can't go to sleep and you're looking to see where the thing is at,
Right.
where it's hit, what
Right.
it's doing. And we came home to, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something here. I'm going to tell you a story here. Not to, but this is how I know there's a God. Okay, I'm going to tell you, this is how I know there's a God. So, my mama lives a couple blocks away from me, and she had my brother who has passed away, and he had passed away before that. But he had built a gazebo for her in the backyard. And so when we got home, she had a bunch of trees in her backyard. They look like, you know what? They're white with the black lines on them. So I don't
Birch.
know, probably birch. I don't know much about trees. I just know they grow in my yard, and some of them are those China berry trees that I don't want in my yard. But anyway, so we got home, and first thing we did, of course, was run into her house to make sure everything was okay. It was. Everything was okay. All the fences were down in the whole city, but or town. We ain't no city. Can't call us a city. And all of the trees in her backyard, I'm telling you what, there were 100-year-old trees that looked like they had been grabbed and just yanked out, and the roots were astronomically huge, and they were up in the air. And I thought, we're in trouble. We're going to go home. We're in big trouble. This is what we saw on our way here to her house. And we got to her house. We walked out in the backyard. All her trees were down. I'm telling you, all of her trees were down. Her gazebo had been demolished, except for
That's too bad.
one post. One post was standing, and it was holding a tree from going down on her house. And it was holding it by a limb. Now, if that ain't somebody watching over you, I'll kiss
Yeah,
your
that's
butt.
for sure.
I'll kiss your butt in front of Target and let you call a crowd. Because you know what?
Right.
Things like that just don't happen.
Right. No,
Um,
you're right.
Nobody had fences. Everybody got to know their neighbors a lot more than they wanted to.
Right.
You know, I mean, I don't know my neighbors very well, but yeah, everybody got together, and everything was good, and our neighborhood was good, other than no fences, and of course they turn your water off and your electricity ain't going, but
Right.
you learn how to carry on, you know. But it's devastating no matter what it is. Tornado, hurricane, fire, whatever. But we had time to get out, and we were told it was coming and to get out. Some of these people weren't even told, and they didn't even prepare for it. No water in the fire hydrants. Come on. You live in a city where fire goes all the time and you don't have any water in the water hydrants. There was a reservoir that was broke down. I didn't know you could break down a reservoir. And did you know that there's a lady in California that owns 60% of the water rights? And she tells everybody who they can put water and where they can't. One lady. She must be hanging out with that smelt minnow.
Must be.
Because I'm telling you.
Must be.
Because you know what? You can't make this stuff up.
No.
But I'm going to be watching California streets real close to see if I see a Prada dress walking down the street with some stiletto heels and a new Louis Vuitton purse.
Right.
You know,
I mean, it's great that you want to give away that stuff. It's great that you do, but that's not the appropriate things to be giving.
no.
You know,
How about a blanket? How about some?
because you know why? And this is what bothers me about that scenario about giving away the Prada and the Louis Vuitton and all of their Kate Spade and all of that other stuff that we don't even know designer names.
Right.
What bothers me about that is that they are so what's the word I'm looking for? They have no clue. They think that us, the normal people, the regular people,
Yes.
that we would do anything to get those clothes and those shoes and those purses.
Well, I don't want it. I don't want their Louis
That's what I'm
Vuitton.
saying. The last thing I would have wanted, seriously, after the house fire, the last thing I would have wanted would have been a box full of evening gowns and Prada shoes.
Right. What I want is a pair of sweatpants and
The only thing I would have done with them was sell them. That's what I would have done to get the money.
Well, that's probably what's going to happen.
Probably.
You know, the looters may go in and steal their Prada dresses. Because you know what? They're not beyond that either.
Well, this is true.
They'll go in and loot these secondhand stores looking for stuff they can pawn off or get rid of.
Yep.
Y'all, there's no hearts out there, and you know that they need to get on their knees and pray that they're the fortunate ones that aren't in a bad situation.
Right.
But you know, I think it's gonna. I think that there's gonna be an eye-opening experience for these people.
You know, all I know is
Our
that
there is
I've always tried to do the right thing.
always,
I mean, I've got myself in some messes, and I've always tried to do the right thing
always,
because I know that shit'll come back at you tenfold.
always, always, always.
And I never wanted it to come back. Sometimes I felt like, what did I do? What did I do for it to be coming back like this at me? But then, you know, there's always somebody worse off. At least we had a place to go. I mean, we went to my mom's. So at least we had a roof over our head. You know, and my mom had given me some money because, like I said, the money got burnt up. So my mom had given me some money, and I was going to go to the dollar store to get a toothbrush, toothpaste, hairbrush, blah, 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 blah. And there was this little old lady in line in front of me, and she had a pack of cookies, some cat food, and some tuna fish. And she didn't have enough money with her. She was going to put back the tuna fish. Was that her dinner? I don't know. There was a couple of cans. So was that her meals for a couple of days? I don't know. But I paid for it. And at the time, Earl was young. He was like 16. And he's like, Mom, I can't believe you did that. I mean, it was like $4. And he's like, I can't believe you did that. You have absolutely nothing. And grandma gave you money to buy stuff for you. I says, yes, but grandma will understand if we tell her what I did. I says, but I don't need recognition for it. You know, I says, and he's like, but you have nothing and you just gave away $4. And I said, she needed it worse than I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know
what? And you'll be blessed for that. I'm telling you right now, you'll be blessed twofold for that. Whether it be here or in the other life, but we'll be blessed for the things that we've done. I believe. And I don't do it to have blessings because you know what? That's not why I do things that I do.
And it makes you wonder, ladies. It really makes you wonder. Because I know how I raised my kids and I know how my kids are raising their kids. But it makes you wonder, where did the dysfunction really start? Thank you, KMM. Where did the dysfunction really start that these kids are the way they are? I mean, did they start with like our kids' age? Did they get out in the world and get corrupted? Or was it the video games? Or, where, when, how? I mean, I thank God every night that my boys still have morals and they're teaching their kids morals.
Right.
My little 10-year-old grandson will open the door and hold it for elderly people, women, and even if we walk in, he won't let that door go if there's people still coming.
See, this is all stuff that people have lost and haven't taught their children. You know what mine do too? I'm going to tell you, one time I was at the grocery store. In fact, I told you guys this months ago, but I was at the grocery store and I was in line, and the lady in front of me was buying stuff, and she had it on, they call it the Lone Star card, which is like a food stamps, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't have enough money on her food stamp card to be able to buy it. And I just paid for it. Said, here, go, have a blessed life. And when I got ready to leave, she said, you just helped a person who's dying of cancer. I want you to know.
Right.
This is the stuff I bought for. And I said, well, that wasn't the reason that I bought it.
Right.
I didn't know. I didn't know, but I knew that, you know what, she didn't have the money and she needed it.
Right.
And I did. So, you know what? It was my pleasure. And I sure wasn't doing it for any kind of extra thing. And then the lady said, well, here, take this survey. You'll win $1,000. I just took the receipt, threw it in the garbage because I thought, you know what? That's not the reason I did it, lady.
Right. And KMM, yes, you're right. The parents aren't as involved as they used to be, but we raised the 30s, 40s, and 50 somethings. You know, we raised that age group that now have, from 10 to 20-year-olds.
Right.
So where did that dysfunction happen?
It came down after that. I'm telling you, it came down after that because there's not too many 40-year-olds or whatever that don't know, that don't have morals. They still have morals. They know what's going on. It's the ones that are below that.
I think it's the ones below 35.
Right. Right. And I think that
you know what? That's a good comment. Schools, you're right.
Right. That's when we took God out of school and decided that you didn't need to pray, and you were looked upon as a crazy person if you did.
Right. Right.
You know? And
yeah. All right. Well,
guess what? It's that time, guys, and I hate that time because I always look forward to Mondays. I love being with y'all. But before we go, we've been sitting here kind of chit-chatting a little bit and kind of wondered, Sunday, would y'all like to get together and stream this pre-inauguration party? Or if y'all have plans, then maybe we won't. I was just kind of doing a heads up. So let's do a one if you want to come on and stream this pre-inauguration party and get together, or we can just wait for the well, we're going to do the inauguration anyway.
Right.
But if you want to get together on Sunday and do the pre-party that Trump is having, give us a one. All right. And and then we'll do and then on Monday, then we'll get together and we'll do the inauguration and get help. Guys, we got to get the help in our government that has a brain, because California.
What time is that party?
I was just looking that up, so be watching, y'all. I'll send out a notice in. The
only reason I ask is because Sunday nights at 6:00.
Let me see what time. I'm going to tell you right now. It is. Let's see what time it is. It's to kick off America Great Rally at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, well, we can go on for an hour or so.
Yeah. So.
Okay, sounds good. We will see you tomorrow night. We love you. Make sure you hit the like on the way out.
On Sunday, because you know what, I'm going to be working on Sunday a little bit. Got to get some work done so that so our wonderful insurance will continue to keep our home insured. They came and took pictures. You got to get this stuff done, or we're not going to insure your home. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Then you better not raise my my insurance rates. That's all I got.
Right.
All right. Well, I love y'all, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow night for sure. Until tomorrow, 6:30. See you here. Be here, and what is it? What is that? Be here, don't be square. What was that old saying?
Be here, don't be square. Or be here, same bat time, same bat channel.
That's right. Make sure that you are subscribed, because somehow we've lost some people and I don't know how that happened. And press the like on your on your way out the door. And if you want to, you can share it. If you don't, that's all right too, because I love our little community. Love y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow night.
Night.
Good night.